Yay, I'm not the first one in the call. I'm always afraid of joining too early and then in the YouTube recording 2 minutes or 5 minutes of just my video feed before anything starts.
That's a nightmare.
All right, it's already a minute after, so we can go ahead and get started. Shubham is out today, so we will not have any DevOps updates unless there is anyone on the call who can give those updates to the team. But we'll go ahead and start with the Bazel updates from Nils.
Yeah, hello everybody. I want to show two achievements from the last 2 weeks, and afterwards Lars will tell us a little bit about the progress for remote caching. I will quickly share my screen. So I hope it's showing. One part is that we migrated as a first step the creation of a Debian package for SCTPD to Bazel, so we can now build the package. It's cached, so it's really fast, but we can, take a quick look. The package is created, and if we look inside the package, we can see that the binary is packaged. We have tested that it can be installed and executed. Of course, this is currently not used for the release process. It is running in CI, so we see if there's some regression happening, and it is only a first step. The second big step is, of course, to create the Debian package for the Magma artifact. Yeah, if there are no questions, I will show quickly the second thing I want to show, and this is about Bazel builds on ARM architecture. So in order to be a good magician, let me show I'm here on an ARM architecture machine. It's running in AWS, and I'm inside the Bazel base Docker image, which we use in CI for testing Bazel builds. And here I can execute Bazel test. It's cached as well because I don't want you to look at my build running. It is cached, but I executed the SCTPD Bazel tests that were successful. this is a preparation. This is merge to master, and the preparation is that we of course want to run Bazel builds and tests also on ARM architecture in order to make sure that we have no regression in this path. Yeah, these are the two small things I wanted to present. Are there any questions? And thank you. And I will give over to Lars.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I just want to give a quick update about the state of the Bazel remote caching, and we switched over to more workflows, and that basically for now concludes the switching over. So the AGW workflow is now using the remote caches. So if you scroll down, there are two jobs here. This is the C++ unit tests. And we see here we have a lot of remote cache hits. There are some things that were actually built, but this is because the pull request has new changes that haven't been cached yet. And the same goes for the GCC warnings and errors workflow, which if we again look inside the logs, we see there's a lot of remote caching. And so all the Bazel things that are happening in CI now use the remote cache. We are also working on running the LTE intake tests on the Bazel build services, and we have a model for that, but right now we are mostly investigating a performance issue that Bazel seems to have inside the VM when it's running on a GitHub runner, and we're working on that. All right.
Then that's it about the Bazel updates. Any questions? If not, then we can continue.
Thank you so much. I will pass it over to Daljit for 5G updates.
Hi, good morning, all. So I'll share my screen. So Wave team is working on 5G SA features, which we are targeting for 1.8. 3 features are very much ready for the release. Suki extensions and feature parity with stateless and the splitting the services with FAG and Orchestrator move to external scope. So those features are ready. And then there are 4 features under testing: 5G QoS and IPv6 port, network initiate, session modification, and GTP extensions. And then plus we are continuing the scale testing for 1.8 and stabilizing the AWOL Spire and test features running in CA. There are some concerns with the stability of the branch we will discuss in the coming slide. There are a bunch of issues got fixed related to 5G SA hardening. The issues found during regression testing. The first 2 issues related to multi-session UE periodic registration in connected mode was failing, and then the client code for Suki extension is added, and their 3 peers got merged related to the DNS port, where the session establishment is reacted, and then QFI value related issue in RYU with the OpenFlow, and then the malformed session accept. This is again another defect got fixed. This is the overall status of the feature we are working on. Network initiated session modification and 5G QoS. There is only 1 peer pending, which we are working to get it merged. And again, parallel we are dealing with the stability of the master branch and so forth. With IPv6, we found internal issues during internal testing. And 2 issues were resolved, and there's 1 issue we are still working on related to 5G router advertisement issue. So there were new finding, and we are working on. With GTP extension support, there's only 1 peer under review, and this is tied up with the stability of the master branch related to QFI support in pipeline D and session D. Number is there. The third category is regression and scale testing. We found 3 different issues during regression, which Wavelab team is working on those issues. 1.8 release branch is so everybody know there's just a stability issue, and we are not able to create 1.8 branch yet. And it's tied up with the FNN artifact the way they're done now. So it's a work in progress, and the regular sync up meeting with DevOps team to resolve it, and we are tracking the 1.8 status in the wiki in the link below. This is very much we have for 1.8 5GSA features. Any questions? All right, Kendall, this is very much I have.
Great. Thank you so much, Daljit. All right. Next, we'll have Orchestrator Bug Fixing from Sebastian.
Hello, everyone. I've been looking into, or my team has been looking into Orchestrator bug fixes recently, and I'd like to talk about one of these bugs in particular that's not fixed yet, but we are proposing a solution, and I just wanted to get some feedback in advance because this turned out to be quite a complicated process to actually implement the solution. So this might get a bit more into the technical details than usual, but let me just go through it. So this bug has been reported several times. It's about states or IMSI subscribers being shown as active long after they have deregistered. And this is, I think, the latest report. And you can see it quite easily if you just go into NMS, into the UI, and look at the list of subscriber sessions. This is just after running the integration tests. Then you can see that many IMSIs here are still reported with a large number of active sessions, even though I ran the test 2 weeks ago and they are no longer connected to my gateway. And the reason for this is how the state reporting and the mirroring of state between the gateway and the cloud works. So this active session state here, it's ultimately coming from session D inside the gateway. And session D doesn't really have a memory of subscribers that it knew once, but have long since disconnected. And at the moment, the gateway just periodically sends some updates with a long list of IMSIs, all the IMSIs that the gateway knows about at the moment. But if there was someone connected in the past and is no longer connected, then this IMSI will no longer be in the list. And there's no way to delete it. So when the subscriber state feature was built, the deletion path wasn't really considered. And now we have a large list of leftover subscribers in many gateways. And to change that, basically you have to change how the state is handled between the gateway and the cloud. And yeah, there's an issue 8621 where the solution has been discussed over the last few months. And maybe just a short overview of how we plan to solve that now, finally, in the next few weeks. Is we want to modify session Ds, so the state it sends to the cloud is no longer a list of subscribers, but instead a big blob with all subscribers of the gateway. And the basic idea is then the next time we update the state, you compare this time the blob of the gateway for this time for the last state you saw, and you can see which IMSIs are no longer there and just delete them. And to do that, we can use an existing feature of the orchestrator that's called re-indexing. So when we get a state update, we take the big blob, index it into a new table where we store both the IMSI and the gateway it came from. And then every time we update, we can compare this gateway to all the IMSIs that the gateway sent previously, and just delete those that are no longer there. So we have to change the endpoints that get the information for the UI to get them from our new table instead of just the dumped state. And when we've done that, we can remove the old logic in session D and only send the new kind of state. So the plan is to implement this over the next few weeks, and that will hopefully close this and the related tickets soon then. And I just, as I said, I wanted to get into the details to maybe get some early feedback or to announce that we're creating new tables and working on the indexing in the orchestrator.
And also as some context for later, I think I plan to propose Sebastian for orchestrator code ownership, just so that you have his image in mind or his presentation in mind when I will do that. Yeah.
Right. Any questions about this? Then that's it from me.
Thank you, Sebastian. So that brings us to the end of our agenda. Is there any other business or updates that people would like to bring up?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring a subject concerning Orchestrator as well. So since we have some time.
Sure.
All right. So for those who don't know me, I'm engineering manager at Canonical for the team that's responsible for building charms, so operators for Magma. And I want to give an update on what we are working right now. So the process by which certificates are generated currently is not the best process because the user has to run a script to generate the certs. So we are in the process of integrating our current charms with Vault. So the idea is that anybody deploying Orchestrator could relate those charms with Vault, and certificates would automatically be generated by Vault and provided to the charms that require them. So that's it. I just want I don't have a demo today. It's not yet ready. It's just the current stuff that we're working on, and I think is going to be interesting for lots of development environments, but also production environment, as Vault supports both being like a the root authority, but also being an intermediary for a actual CA.
Hey, Guillaume, thanks for the information. Do you have any documentation on that so that we can take a look and try that?
Like I said, it's very much in progress. I can send you the PRs that I have. Like it's all public projects for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's very much a work in progress. So, but yeah, definitely. Who's asking this? So
this is Govin from ARM.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I'll send that to you.
Yep.
Great.
And that's it for me. So
Thank you. Anything else? All right, then it was a short meeting today. So we'll give you some time back in your day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.